Let's budget plan for the month. I'm going to be using this particular planner. It is not specific to budget planning, but I think it'll work. The price of groceries is becoming extremely expensive. Have you seen them? So I'm going to use this particular planner. Let's see. I used it for other purposes initially, but I think I'm going to transition it over to a budget planner. I think this layout is simple enough. Each week I will track my expenses. I also will capture my major to-dos as it relates to my budget. Also, I will capture my budget or financial goals each month. This section I feel will get extremely messy. I have a lot of expenses, y'all. Plus, I'm a mom of 3. If you're a mom, let me know in the comments how you are managing the increase in everything. Not just groceries, not just eggs, but activities, field trips, all of those things. So I'm going to capture it there. In the monthly spread, I think I'm going to capture my large expenses. And again, I pulled out my highlighters just so that I can color code my expense categories. I'll be able to more clearly see where my money is going so that I can manage it accordingly. I came up with this quick color scheme for my expenses. I'll highlight in the planner and put the amount. I also use an Excel spreadsheet that's pretty extensive. I'll dedicate a later video to that and I'll show you how I set up my Excel tracker. I use a zero-based budget technique, meaning that I allocate every dollar of my income somewhere, whether it's to groceries, gas, household, etc. The thing that I'm finding for me personally, now that my student loans have come due, is that my budget is extremely tight each month and it's almost non-existent. So we'll get into that in another video. I have some pretty ambitious 2026 goals. We'll talk about that as we start planning for 2026. I'm going to follow the same highlight scheme in this section as well, where appropriate. I don't want it to become extremely cluttered, but in this section, I want to make sure that I'm capturing my one-off expenses. In this section, I'll itemize them. For example, I had a goal of no spend in October. We are only like 3 days into the month, 4 days maybe. I don't even know. And I've already blew that goal. So yeah, I'm making a dollar out of 15 cents, as you would say. So I'm going to capture my to-dos here. The reason I like to capture certain dates in my budget planner is because oftentimes our activities come with spending. For example, movie night will be held on the lawn, but there's a food truck. We'll probably get some takeout to take with us as we are watching the movie. So I like to know the special occasions each month, and then I can add a budget line item for that. Similarly, we are attending a birthday party. So of course, we have to get the birthday honoree a gift and a card. So that's something that we definitely have to do. I know that we need to tighten up on our expenses, but I'm struggling a little bit, or I'm juggling rather, not struggling, but juggling spending for, how do I say it? I don't want to say maintain a standard of living because I don't want to become frivolous in my pursuit of maintaining a standard of living. But where I can make small sacrifices or puts and takes here or there to ensure that we're able to be a blessing to others, we're able to go on our field trips, we're able to do our activities, then I'm doing that, right? I'm juggling. I don't want to get into a place where I'm robbing Peter to pay Paul. Let me know in the comments if you understand what that means. But I don't want to get into a place where I'm doing that. But I also want to make sure that I am conscious about just the things that we like to enjoy, the things that we do, and how we spend time with our family and the things that we do together as a family. I'm going to flip back to this particular spread because I've already paid some of my major bills for the month of October. For example, home, car, my daughter's dance. There's some other activities that I've already paid for the month of October, and I paid those actually at the end of September just so that they could draft, like get it out the way, right? So the bulk of my major expenses happen the first week of the month, and then the second kind of wave of outflow is around the 20th. Yeah, something like that. The 20th of each month. I have another set of like major bills that get paid, and then around about the 15th. So, for example, my insurance, then of course like lights, gas, those for me are due at the start of the month. But anyway, I say all that to say because when I do my Excel tracker, I break the month out into two sections. So in Excel, I have one section that accounts for like the first couple of weeks of the month, and then a section that accounts for the last couple of weeks of the month. The last couple of weeks is when like credit card bills, student loans, like those egregious expenses that I'm trying to get rid of are due at the end of the month. So that's a heavy time for me. And the last thing that I want to do is like lapse on any debt. So I keep a close eye on the end of the month. And then of course the start of the month is pretty straightforward, right? Some of those things, like we need, a home to live in. I have a car that, I'm driving. It's almost paid off. Thank God. I'm looking forward to that day. But those are like my early month expenses. And then my latter part are just the expenses that my goal is to drastically decrease so that I can have some relief in the last part of the month. One of the things that highlighting will allow you to do is to not only see what you spend, how much you spend, but for me, it really highlights that I spend a lot on the weekends, which is natural, right? We work throughout the week for many of us, myself included. So the weekend is when you can get your hair done, when you can do other things. For me, I have small children. So both my girls have hair appointments on the 4th. So I highlighted that. I will go in and put the amounts that I spend here. I won't put that on camera. And again, we have the birthday party that I spoke about here. So I'll put in like how much we end up spending. We haven't purchased the gift yet or the card. So I'll just note that here. And what this technique helps me to do, and I have not done it in a long time, but it helps me to see like how much I'm spending. And it just gives me a bird's eye view of my budget, right? Like my Excel is where the rubber meets the road, and I know exactly to the T how much I'm spending every month. But I think this, when I used to budget plan in a planner, this helped me to stay more focused. So if you are struggling with staying focused on your budget goals, I invite you to pick up a planner. This one was super cheap. I think it was like $6 or $7 at my local Walgreens. And I'm going to use it for budget planning for right now. I may switch over to an Erin Condren planner just because this one doesn't have an extensive like notes section for me to like really write down my budget goals. But in the meantime, as I close out 2025, I'm going to use this planner. I'll repurpose it probably in January for something else, maybe business, maybe high level goals. I'm not sure, but right now I'm going to use it for budget planning until I can do my 2026 planner lineup. Now, the last thing I'll say before I close out this particular video is in my budget planner, I do capture some business expenses. I am not at a place yet where like my business really 100% funds itself. So there are some things that I account for like of my own spending. So I purchased planners to do planner reviews. Those videos are coming. I also am looking at a new platform for my business that is more expensive. So I want to account for that as well. Right now, nothing has been solidified, but I do want to keep that in mind if I have some opportunity in the month of October to cover those expenses or some portion of it, however that needs to be. But for me, I do capture my personal business or my, yes, a personal business, I guess I own it, but to capture my business here as well. Again, I use spreadsheets for the nitty-gritty details, but this is just a way for me to do a brain dump oftentimes when I plan in a paper planner, I will translate that into Excel. So this to me is like, okay, I forgot about some activities. I forgot about this, that, and the third, but I'll go and make sure that I put it into my Excel as well. So I hope that you found this super quick video helpful. Let me know in the comments if you use a planner for budget planning. Let me know the types of planning videos that you want to see as we close out the year 2025 and as we go into 2026. I look forward to doing budget planning content. I feel like 2 or 3 years ago when I was heavy into budget planning videos is when I saw the biggest change in my financial situation and I was able to pay down a lot of debt. I'll leave a link to that in the description box of this video, but I'm looking forward to more budget planning content as we close out this year and as we go into 2026. I have some extremely large budget planning goals. Thinking about it makes me a little bit nervous, but as we go into 2026, there are some large goals that I have to account for. So yeah, stay with me on this journey. Give this video a thumbs up, leave me a comment, and I will speak to you in the next one. Happy planning, y'all.